Creative Art Classes with John-Marc. Today's lesson, how to draw a cartoon elf claws. Hey, it's John-Marc and welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to be learning how to draw an elf claws. I kind of mixed Santa Claus and elf together, and what do you get? You get an elf claws. So this one's going to be a fun one for me because I enjoy this time of year right now during Christmas, celebrating with family and friends, and I hope you guys are beginning to feel the same thing. Well, let's get started with the lesson. So I'm building a character as you are watching, and I built the first part of the element was his face and put the crosshairs in there, and then I'm going to be building his body there and his legs. Now I'm just indicating where his arms and his hands are actually going to be now too. Now working on the hat. So as always, when I'm working on these elements, you'll notice that it's just a quick little outline sketch, a building block for the illustration, as I would say. And right now, it's just a very simple way of laying out the whole feel and filling up your paper or the design requirements that you need for your project. Pretend this was a project and a client said to you, I need it to be like a square area. So I need it very much to fit in that box area for a sticker or for a tattoo. So you got to make sure that you really have those areas of understanding. So in this case, the character is very simply done, and it could fit in pretty much any of one of those those standard areas for that project. Hypothetically, of course, this has not been used on anything as of yet because I just created this little character right now, this little bud. And he is just going to be a fun one to work on. A lot of details, a lot of stuff to see and to follow through. So again, building up all those elements, as you can see, the building block for your cartoon is critical. Not just cartoon, but anything you do in drawing, you want to lay out on a thumbnail, from a thumbnail to a sketch, which we're sketching out right now. And from the sketch, take it to the final stage. And in this final stage, I will be not inking it in, I will actually be putting into Photoshop and just coloring it in there with my little watercolor brush, leaving the sketchy lines in there on this particular project. All right, getting a little bit more detail involved now. I got his little ears in there, his eyes and his nose and his mouth and his beard. Working on his eyebrows right now. And getting a little bit darker when I get through all that then, and working a little bit more of his hat now. And when you're working on stuff, you might just want to use references and understand how certain elements might look like for the hat. Sometimes you could do like the little Santa Claus hat, just totally smooth without any bumps. That's perfectly fine. In this case, I just want to give some type of overlapping action and curves to it. And let's work on a little bit more here on the beard. Okay, that's looking good. A little darker. All right, a little button now. That's coming through a little bit better. I'm just breaking the element down for the button so I can see where I'm going to have the little his fuzz on his jacket and on his pants right now. On the bottom there for his foot as well. There we go. We got a little bit darker again. This is just a very simple outline that I created, and then from that point on I just get a little bit more detail as I go. And getting back to references, so you may take this character and pull it from several different other elements that you might have seen, like his backpack, his face, and his body could be from 3 different sources of references that you took to build this little character. In this case, I just winged it, just used my imagination right now. Or better yet, you could have a family member or friend pose in that particular pose. That's really good. That's life drawing. That's very, very critical as being a cartoonist when you're doing comic books, and extremely important when you're doing animation. You need to have good life drawing classes for animals and for humans. to understand how we actually walk and how an animal walks too and moves. All right, let's continue with this a little bit more with the little elf claws guy working on his hands. He's holding that little strap for the big bag of Christmas goodies. All right, just working on that little fluff around his arm there. There we go. One more there. And working on the strap. There is the strap right now. All right, that's looking good. Get his arm in there. All right, I'm liking that so far, that positioning of everything. Looking good. Yep. Let's get a little bit more darker with his pants on the bottom there. That's kind of like his bell bottoms from the 70s. Well, not too much, but I want to make sure that they're dark black, like the Santa Claus, and we're going to color in his feet green, trying to make sure there's still an elf in there. All right, let's work on the hat a little bit more now. That's looking good. Working on those overlapping action. Again, I shared in some of my other series, my other lessons, when I draw an object or line, sometimes I don't meet and end at that line. I have an overlapping, those lines meet and overlap. That gives more dimension, as I would really like in my style of cartoons. It's not a flat stick figure. Okay, that's looking good right there. A little darker there. Let's get around his face again, a little bit more with his beard. And again, it's whatever my eye gravitates to, or my thought. And I'm like, oh, let me just work on this over here right now. Oops, let me go over here. So you can take the final drawing yourself that you can see here and draw it all the way from sketching it and fine tuning. You don't have to follow my steps by steps here, but at least you understand how I'm sketching. That is a critical thing. This is a lost art. A lot of kids don't know how to do sketching anymore. They just trace, and that's not true art. Okay, and that's why I use a pencil and I do not use a Sharpie when I teach, because the Sharpie when teaching is not really teaching you art. Pencil sketching is the proper way you should learn. All right, let's work on some of the characters and some of the toys in the big bag right now. Working on a little teddy bear. There we go. Get his eyes. And get his eyebrows now. Okay, let's work on his little structure of his face. And that crosshair again helped me to know where his nose, mouth there, positioning, and then getting ready for his big ears. It's going to be a fun little teddy bear. All right, that's looking good. Getting a little bit more done. All right, so just watch simply how I'm sketching, and I'm just like laying in quick lines sometimes. And if they don't work for me, I'll just come back and redo it. Normally I don't erase anymore, but you can. That's why I sketch very lightly, so when I come back, I have a darker line to follow. That makes it the step-by-step easier for you guys. All right, putting a little patch on the little bag. It's been used for many years. Got a little hole, so I had to put a little patch on it. Shade those in. That's looking good. All right, and let's put some toy boxes. I'm making my three-dimensional box shapes in the back. That's going to be another lesson altogether. I'm going to teach you how to do 3D perspective as well, drawing, critical thinking, because when building characters such as this one, it's basically you are in a 3D environment world in your head. All right, let's continue with the box behind that one. Let's make a little trumpet now. Yeah, there we go. Get that laid in there. All right, a little darker there. There we go. Shaded in the top part of the trumpet. Okay. Got the box holes in there. Got the teddy bear in there. And of course, we got to get something nice and sweet like a candy cane. All right, there we go. Let's drop that in and get some of the lines in there. I love drawing candy canes. They're kind of fun. Simple, but a real kind of easy little image to draw, and a fun one to add to the whole decoration of the bag. That's looking good. All right, what else can we add to this one right now? Well, we have that Jack-in-the-Box in the bottom there. Here we go. Let's make a little Jack-in-the-Box. There's my little perspective box. Let's get that cranker in there where it pops it, where you gotta crank it in. And there we go. Let's get the little character popping out. Building that face there, the nose and the eyes again. Just add a little cuteness. The toy fell out of the bag. You know, just make it unique there. There we go. I like that. Let's give him a long pointy hat with some pom-pom at the end. Make him look like almost like a silly clown. All right, let's fix his hat a little bit more. It's just a round head, and then he has all the frills around his neck. A typical clown feature. And let's just get some straight bodies, like a spring going in there. We'll get the back of the pock so it pops up. There we go. His body's up. I gotta give him some hands. There we go. Some fingers and the arms, and get the other side going too. There we go. That looks good. And as you can see, this is a rough sketch, but you have the understanding of what it looks like to share with your client, or if this is a card or illustration you're doing for yourself, at least you can share with your friends. And concentrating on the lighting source, as you see right there, I was just playing up a little darker in the box and medium light on the side there to give some contrast to what you're working on. Yeah, that's looking great. So as always, let's sign and date. And thanks so much for watching this, and I want to wish you guys all a very Merry Christmas. Take care. Check us out on Facebook, that's JMG Studio, and on our Instagram account, that's JMG Studio Cartoon. Oh, hey! I hope you enjoyed our video today, and make sure you hit the subscribe button, because then you can see all our old videos as well as the new ones that are coming up. Alright, thanks a lot. Take care.